Coming up next on Making Moves, the Gameday Xpress is a popular way to get to Jaguars games. But construction at the sports complex is forcing changes to this year's service. What you need to know.
Because of the massive construction projects that's going around surrounding the stadium, we're going to suspend service.
Florida is no longer the worst state in the country for pedestrian deaths. We'll tell you where the Sunshine State ranks now and how Jacksonville fared in the latest Dangerous by Design report, and what JTA is doing to make Jacksonville roads safer for you.
The addition of bike lanes, the improvements to traffic control devices, as well as improving certain roadways to have like pedestrian medians.
Transportation experts from around the globe will descend on Jacksonville next month. We'll tell you why they're coming and why it's important to the region. We take a ride on JTA's newest autonomous shuttle and learn what makes it unique.
I think number one is the solar component of that, right? So we haven't tested any sort of vehicles that have a way to harvest energy from a solar panel, right? That gives us a little bit of additional performance.
And it's award season, and JTA is already winning big. These stories and more are all coming up right now on Making Moves. Welcome to Making Moves. I'm Bill Milnes. Thanks for joining us. We begin with Jaguars football and the Gameday Xpress, JTA's longtime stadium shuttle. Since the Jaguars' first game back in 1995, JTA has provided in excess of 2 million rides aboard the Gameday Xpress to Jaguars games, the Gator Bowl, and other major events. The good news is that will continue for the upcoming NFL season, but there will be some changes. As you can see in this shot from Making Moves Skycam, in the area just to the west of the stadium, improvements to the sports complex, including the new Miller Electric Performance Center, are now fully underway. That means one of the main pickup and drop-off points for the shuttle is no longer accessible. That was the stop for shuttles previously running from FSCJ downtown and the Armsdale Park and Ride lot on the north side.
For just this coming year, we're going to suspend service from FSCJ, and we're going to move all of that transportation from there over to Kings, and we will have the continuous shuttle going from Kings, and everything will be dropping off at the B lot instead of the loop. We're doing that for the protection and safety of our customers because we could not get them any closer than over a half of a mile away from the stadium, and then they would have to walk through construction to get to the stadium. This way they'll get off less than 0.2 miles. They're just right outside the stadium, and so it's going to be more convenient for them given the current circumstances.
Lot B is located on the east side of the stadium, directly across Gator Bowl Boulevard from TIAA Bank Field. Gameday Xpress parking will be available at any of 4 locations this season. The Kings Avenue Garage on the South Bank, which will be in continuous operation throughout the game. The Armsdale Park and Ride near Lem Turner and I-295 on the north side, Phillips Highway and J. Turner Butler Boulevard on the south side, and Wingate Park on Penman Road in Jacksonville Beach. Season passes for the Gameday Xpress are $60 for Kings Avenue, $80 for all the suburban lots. And for the single game passes, they're $10 for Kings Avenue and $15 for the suburban locations. All tickets are digital and available through the Token Transit mobile app. A link is available on the JTA website and in your phone's app store. Every 2 years, Smart Growth America reports on how we're doing as a nation when it comes to pedestrian safety. They gather and analyze statistics from all 50 states and the 100 largest metropolitan areas in the country to measure what they call the Pedestrian Danger Index. And for the first time in more than a decade, Florida is not the worst state in the U.S. for pedestrian deaths. Although they released a full report just last year, SGA pulled together new data during the pandemic to see how things fared with less people driving during COVID. The results were surprising, but not in a good way. And as you're about to see, despite more attention being paid to the problem on multiple fronts, Jacksonville still has more work to do. Smart Growth America's Dangerous by Design 2022 report provides the most up-to-date look at how dangerous state and metro areas are for people walking and sheds light on the deadliest places in the U.S. based on traffic fatalities from 2016 to 2020. The 2022 report shows a significant shift from just a year ago. Here's a look at the 2021 standings for the metro areas with the most pedestrian deaths. As you can see, 7 of the worst 10 cities were in Florida. In the latest report, Florida had only 4 of the 10 worst cities for pedestrian deaths. That looks like progress. But is Florida getting better, or are other cities just doing worse? Well, consider this. Every city in the top 9 would have topped the list just 6 years ago. And despite less people driving in 2021 due to the pandemic, pedestrian deaths are expected to reach an all-time high of over 7,000 nationwide. So what's causing this increase? Well, there are several factors, including the fact that people are now driving bigger and heavier vehicles. A study by the U.S. Department of Transportation found that pedestrians are 2 to 3 times more likely to suffer a fatality when struck by an SUV or pickup truck than when struck by a passenger car. It's not just the size of the vehicle, but the speed. If you've heard the phrase speed kills, it absolutely does.
Going over the speed limit creates a higher risk for traffic crashes and also can lead to traffic fatalities.
You might be astonished at how much just a 10-mile-per-hour increase in speed increases the chances that a pedestrian is going to die in an accident. According to the National Transportation Safety Board, at 20 miles per hour, there is only a 5% chance a person struck by a vehicle will be killed. At 30 miles per hour, that chance jumps to 45%. And at 40 miles per hour, 85% of the crashes involving a person walking are fatal.
The reaction time for a driver is 1.6 seconds. It takes 1.6 seconds for the driver to realize there's a danger and to make a decision to take action. Obviously, the faster the vehicle is going, the braking distance is greater.
But drivers are not the only reason there are now more pedestrian deaths than ever before. Too often, pedestrians are their own worst enemy, not using crosswalks or sidewalks, choosing instead to take a shortcut and cut across a busy street rather than walk a few extra feet to a safer zone like a crosswalk.
And pedestrians, please use sidewalks well provided, use crosswalks, pay extra attention. Our #1 priority in the Sheriff's Office is to reduce traffic crashes and traffic fatalities.
Here in Jacksonville, JTA and the city have taken specific steps to help rid Jacksonville of this dubious distinction. JTA just completed a series of what are called Complete Streets projects designed to make roadways safer for all users.
So you're providing safety enhancements as well as different things to eliminate barriers that would not allow people to commute either by walking, biking, or transit use. So you're just making those roads safer for the public.
Since each neighborhood is different, each JTA Complete Streets project is customized for that community.
The addition of bike lanes, the improvements to traffic control devices, as well as improving certain roadways to have like pedestrian medians, just to make sure that they can access the roadways, they can cross, and they're safe. So there's no kind of one-size-fits-all for Complete Streets.
The city has been adding new crosswalk indicators like this one in multiple locations across Jacksonville, often at mid-block to slow down traffic. A pedestrian just pushes the button and a bright flashing strobe light indicates to drivers that someone will be entering the crosswalk and they must stop. They also continue to push the idea of road diets like this one on the South Bank. Road diets slow down traffic by eliminating lanes, widening sidewalks, adding medians, bike lanes, and more.
You're reallocating the space that's in the roadway for other users. So it may be, typically you might have a 4-lane facility, 2 through lanes in each direction, And in this case, what we're recognizing is that there's really excess capacity for the vehicles that are there. So what it is that road that's 4 lanes probably operating for around a 3-lane capacity. And so how do we rebalance the facility to say, can we take the outer lanes, maybe the 2 outer lanes out, and repurpose those for cycling or for transit or for on-street parking or whatever the need may be? And the goal there is we're not trying to take away from vehicles, we're just trying to get a greater sense of the balance for all needs.
The Federal Highway Administration says road diets calm traffic, significantly reduce the number of crashes, reduce weaving and left turn conflicts, and more. Jacksonville has made key improvements over the past few years, but to take another step and forever get out of the top 10 worst cities for pedestrian deaths, it will take all of us making a conscious effort. After all, safety is everyone's responsibility. In technology news, here's a look at the latest addition to JTA's autonomous shuttle testing program. This 6-passenger electric vehicle from Perrone Robotics is solar-powered and can operate at speeds up to 25 miles per hour. This is the second vehicle the JTA is testing from Perrone. Previously, the company delivered the world's first fully autonomous and ADA-compliant EV Star to the authority.
I think number one is the solar component of that, right? So we haven't tested any sort of vehicles that, have a way to harvest energy from a solar panel, right? That gives us a little bit of additional performance. So this vehicle, for that matter, provides that capability. So we're actively testing that. And then I think number two, this gives us a really flexible and agile option that provides us a use case where we can deploy it rapidly in the field. So what does that mean? We do a variety of different outreach activities, right? And serving underserved communities, schools, and showing them this type of technology. Well, this now provides us a very flexible option where we can go to their campus, essentially map a route with this type of vehicle because it's small and flexible and autonomous, and do that in a relatively short period of time. So for all of those reasons, it provides a unique kind of platform for the JTA to be testing.
JTA continues to test AVs at its 2 test and learn tracks, one at its main automation facility on Armsdale Road on the north side, and the other at FSCJ Cecil Center on the west side. This is the 8th different AV that JTA has tested so far as it prepares to launch phase 1 of its Ultimate Urban Circulator program, currently in design. When Making Moves continues, 2 small road construction projects are about to make a big impact to a couple of Jacksonville neighborhoods. Correspondent Vicki Gutierrez gives us a sneak peek.
It was really bad when the big trucks and seeing children trying to walk, on the side and everything.
Over 100 international transportation experts descend on Jacksonville next month, found out why they're coming and why it's such a big deal for North Florida. We'll have these stories and more still to come when Making Moves returns. Welcome back to Making Moves. JTA's MobilityWorks program is now in the home stretch with all 4 of its final projects underway, and with Paramore Road and 5th Street nearing completion. Making Moves correspondent Vicki Gutierrez gives us a sneak peek at 3 of the projects and tells us how one of the smallest projects of the entire MobilityWorks program may just have the biggest impact of all.
So you have water sit around for days at a time.
That was then. A narrow road prone to flooding and stagnant water, deep ditches, crumbling driveways, and not a sidewalk in sight, forcing pedestrians to walk dangerously close to traffic.
It was really bad when the big trucks and seeing children trying to walk, on the side and everything.
But this is now. You can see the road is much wider. Driveways are improved, ditches gone, and now residents have a sidewalk to walk on, keeping them out of the path of oncoming traffic. For 15-year resident Shani Mobley, this is long overdue.
I feel better. It looks much better, and it feels more homier.
This massive overhaul at 5th Street comes as a result of JTA's MobilityWorks program.
And now when you look down this corridor, it now looks completely different.
According to Reynold Peterson, JTA's Director of Capital Programs, that new look goes far beyond what you see on the surface. It includes improved infrastructure for improved water and sewer systems. What's more is that this project is also categorized as what JTA calls a complete streets project, just like the work taking place here on Alta Drive and also here with the extension of Paramore Road. The good news is that all 3 of these complete street projects are nearing completion, and all 3 are poised to bring much-needed relief to those who drive, work, and live in these areas, including those who have lived along 5th Street for years.
I think it'll bring some pride to that neighborhood that maybe people are thinking about moving out. They will not move out. You may even see them starting to make other improvements to the area.
Peterson says an aspect of these complete street projects is creating opportunities for people to walk, bike, and basically just get out of their cars. And you can see evidence of that right here on 5th Street. In fact, before, there really weren't any barriers between people and the road, but now you have curbs, elevated sidewalks, and plenty of space to get around.
Here at Paramore Road, the progress is equally impressive. A whole new stretch of road has gone up, wide sidewalks have been installed, and you can see workers are putting up streetlights.
Paramore is in a heavy commercial area. Paramore now connects Collins Road to Youngerman Circle. So that area has a lot of residents also. And again, from the standpoint of moving pedestrians and bicycles, it's essentially non-existent.
Besides providing drivers with safer solutions to driving and walking, Peterson says you can't understate the relief this work will bring an area known for congested roads like Argyle Forest, Collins, and Blanding Boulevard. Speaking of relief, it's also coming here to Alta Drive.
You're seeing commercial development in that area, you're seeing a lot of residential development in that area.
With that development has come a lot of traffic. Here, JTA's work includes adding more lanes to accommodate more cars and reduce congestion, not to mention better drainage and new sidewalks.
And up until now, most of that, there's been no sidewalk, so people had to walk on grass or along the edge of pavement.
When considering the scope of all of these projects, Peterson says it's important to remember that JTA isn't just about fixing roads. He says providing environmentally friendly solutions is just as important.
So for JTA, we care about the environment. So as part of our contribution to this area, we'd like to also reduce emissions. You know, if you can take 20 cars off the road and get them into one bus, if you can take, 20 cars off the road and get them if they can walk to the store.
In the end, residents like Mobley say they're pleased with the progress, pleased with the options, and pleased with how JTA has made a lot of much-needed changes a reality.
Everybody was very respectable of, the people's time and them coming and going and with all the construction and everything. So it's been real good.
Vicky Gutierrez, JTA Making Moves.
Staying with construction news, the latest transit-oriented development project is scheduled to break ground later this month. The project is a partnership between JTA and Corner Lot Development Group. Artia will be a $75 million multifamily development built on nearly 4 acres of JTA property adjacent to the Kings Avenue Skyway Station and parking garage. Artia will feature a 340-unit apartment structure. This is the second development to be built since JTA announced its intention to lease several of its properties back in 2019 to be developed around transit. KIPP Schools of Jacksonville opened a new charter school last year on an 8-acre parcel JTA owned on Gulf Air Boulevard. That site includes a First Coast Flyer Green Line station. Transportation experts from around the globe will be descending upon Jacksonville next month as JTA plays host to the International Association of Public Transportation. Known as the UITP, the organization is based in Belgium with nearly 2,000 members in over 100 countries. Jacksonville will be the host city for its North American Forum. UITP says it plans to use its global reach to bring together experts with the most current and relevant transportation information and developments for our urban transit industry. This year's forum will include discussions on automated and shared transit options, how micro and demand-based mobilities would interact with more traditional transit, cybersecurity in the modern world, and will explore the importance and expanded functions of transit stations, how they enhance not only transit, but appearance and quality of urban life. As we always do, Making Moves will bring you full coverage from the North American Forum on a future show. And when we come back, how JTA's internship program is helping dozens of college students get real-world experience. And JTA hits the mother load at 2 national awards competitions. We'll have details on the big wins right after this message. Welcome back to Making Moves. As part of its Ultimate Urban Circulator initiative, JTA is working with FSCJ to build a college curriculum to ensure that education keeps up with the advancing technology. But automation is not the only area where JTA is addressing the future right now. Each year, dozens of college students join JTA for several weeks during the summer to get real-world experience in their particular field and have a chance to learn more about what JTA does. The students say it's an important step in their overall development. College students come here each summer to get a chance to learn more about the JTA, but also learn more about their chosen careers. The authority offers real-world work opportunities in many different fields.
JTA's internship program is very diverse. We have interns spread out throughout the agency in maintenance, operations, IT, procurement, finance, and even in HR. So they have the opportunity to experience all aspects of the Transportation Authority.
Maya Harmon, a senior business administration major at Florida A&M, says this JTA internship was a way to find some clear direction for her career. What she found was unexpected.
So something interesting that I really learned is that I really like finance, which is interesting because that was the one area that I thought I didn't want to go because I'm not really a numbers person. I'm not the strongest in math. But yeah, it's something I really have been enjoying while I've been here.
A computer engineering student at the University of Florida, Blake Sanders, came into the internship program with one key objective.
I always knew that it was really important to have professional work experience as soon as possible so that when I actually go into the career I'm looking for, I'll have that under my belt. I'll already have an understanding of what it takes to be on time to meetings, make appointments with people, get things done ahead of time so that you stay on schedule even if something goes wrong.
Like most people, Florida A&M sophomore Jayla Royal knew JTA provided transit to the citizens of Jacksonville. When she found out the extent of work that JTA produces in her desired field of marketing and public relations, she knew she made the right decision.
Something I learned about my career was that I want to stay in it. Like, I don't want to change my career at all. And I actually learned that I enjoy it more than I do it. And I'm happy that I got this experience to branch out. JTA has taught me to just build upon what I know about public relations. It has made me drive deeper and to know that it's more than PR, it's photography, it's social media management, it's editing, and it's all in one, and those are all the things I love to do.
The JTA internship program is not a way to get some cheap summer help. The students' experience is real world and expansive.
I hope that your experience has been rewarding in terms of these internships with the JTA. This is not our core functionality as the JTA, but it's something that I'm very, very passionate about and very bullish about, which is how do we develop that next generation of transportation experts? Because at least for me, in terms of my career, I see where transportation has such an impact on the quality of life for our cities, for our citizens.
JTA CEO Nat Ford spent quality time with all the interns, answering questions and talking about his experience and background. It made a real impression on the students.
Mr. Ford is a very busy guy, but the fact that he took his time out his day to come with us and came to sit down and actually wanted to talk to us. You don't meet many CEOs who actually want to see their interns and communicate with their interns and learn about them. So I felt like that was a really good experience. Just sitting there, getting to talk with him, hearing what he has been through to how he got to where he is today.
So it was really nice to get to sit down and speak with him, kind of pick his brain, ask questions.
And while this group of students will soon be back on campus or out in the workforce, HR Director Mary Smith says she's hoping to expand the internship program.
The long-term program is to have a program actually go 365 and not just wait for the summer, because the goal is to really hone in on potential talent from a workforce pipeline standpoint. So having an internship that can actually progress throughout the year and not just the summer is truly a way you start developing your workforce. If you've watched this show on a regular basis, then you know that JTA wins a lot of awards. The
The transportation industry has honored the authority at the state, national, and international level in everything from its innovation, engineering, marketing and multimedia, safety, and overall excellence, just to name a few. So it was no surprise when 2 national organizations honored JTA with a combined 5 more awards. The American Public Transportation Association awarded JTA's marketing and multimedia teams with 3 first-place awards for its efforts during COVID-19. JTA was one of only 2 agencies in all of North America to receive 3 first-place awards. And the Conference of Minority Transportation Officials, or COMTO, saluted 2 JTA employees with individual awards. Greer Johnson Gillis, Senior Vice President of System Development, received the Thomas G. Newsom Founders Leadership Award. This is the highest award given by COMTO and honors transportation executives and policymakers who have made outstanding contributions toward the growth and development of people of color within their organization. Chris Macklin, JTA Diversity Compliance Officer, was awarded the Reverend Jerry Moore's President's Leadership Award. This award goes to a COMTO chapter president who demonstrates exceptional leadership within the COMTO organization. Congratulations to the winners and to the JTA for its continuing award-winning achievements. And that wraps up this edition of Making Moves. We thank you for joining us. Please tune in again soon as we continue to bring you the latest in transportation news, economic development, and all things JTA. If you want to watch any of our shows again or catch up on ones you may have missed, we welcome you to check out our YouTube channel. A direct link to our YouTube page is available at jtafla.com. Just click on the icon at the bottom of the page. For the entire Making Moves team, I'm Bill Milnes. Thanks for watching, and take care, everybody.